know, but it's what you guys know too.
Well, okay, so y'all, thank you. Yeah, exactly, Regina. Thank you for showing up. This was actually Regina's idea. So Megan and I had been talking as she was going through this promotion. She would go, "Oh my God, I realized this thing. I realized something last night." I'm like, "Write it down." And then I realized this. I'm like, "Write it down." So anyways, Regina was like, "Let's get a group together that wants to learn." And so anyway, thank you guys. I meant to message earlier. It is my fault. This is last minute. So
Okay.
anyway, just completely forgot. So Regina looks hot.
She's got her Park Lane sweatshirt
And
on.
y'all, wait 1 minute. I forgot my coffee downstairs.
Go. Oh, I
Okay,
hate
thanks.
Are we
it's
supposed to wait and just chit chat? Well,
so that's what I deal with. My office is upstairs, my kitchen's downstairs, and I'm constantly up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So Bo actually bought me a coffee warmer. He's like, "You're always coming down to warm your coffee.
my
Give you a
gosh.
coffee warmer." I'm like, okay.
How sweet is that?
But I am going to say, okay, so just to kind of, share, you all know Megan's been around for 9 months, and she joined. Her and Stephanie were dear friends, our dear friends from Norman. They don't live far from each other. And by the way, Jessica, your hair is so freaking cute.
He is a
You're just
cutie.
nice.
I'm not. I wish I could be so creative and
This is, I went to bed with it wet, and when you do that and you wake up and it looks like a mess and you don't feel like doing nothing to it. So you just braid it back and wear the scarf you bought in Paris. And that's what you do.
Jessica, do you think my hair is long enough to braid?
Yeah, 100%.
I
Look, even if you can't braid it, you could do the little like where you just like this is what I did today. Like I'm gonna give y'all a quick hair tutorial, okay?
Okay, good. I need one.
Look, okay. So this is just what I did today. You just start
Right.
up here a little bit and you just twist it back and then grab another section and twist it back. And so
Well, that stress, you've already stressed me out, but I guess I can do it.
you just keep doing that. That's all you do. You just keep grabbing a little bit more, twist it back,
don't
twist it
like
back.
a French braid. You keep grabbing a little bit more, but instead
Yeah,
of
but you don't have to have 3 sections. I mean, I
yeah.
could braid mine, but it just takes extra time. And so I just twist it back. And then you get it to the base of your neck and you put your little elastic in it.
Well, it's darling.
And then you go about your day.
I mean, it's so cute. I need more options like that. This top I got at a boutique in your favorite place, College Station.
Station.
College Station.
College Station.
College Station. Regina is an Aggie. Anyway, okay, so I digress. Let's talk all things learning. And if you guys have questions, of course, would love to hear your questions. But we asked Megan to just put together maybe a list of what you do, 5, 7.
3.
Okay.
Hey, I like it even better. Thank you, Megan.
Yeah, and then we can ask questions. So I'm going to honestly just pass it over to you. But really, this is about you guys. I know, I'm just going to say this first. I know when she joined Park Lane, her mission was not, well, maybe it was, but not day one. I am going to become a senior division leader in 9 months. No. She has literally taken every step as just focusing on that step, but just being, I will say what I've noticed is, what's the word I'm looking for that Brad Bizjack?
Builder.
No, well, yes, but
Guiding momentum.
she has immersed herself into our culture. She has immersed herself into being a sponge, of just learning and coachable. So those are my 2 cents, but I'm going to pass it off to you.
Thank you, Christy. I think when I started, I just was buying too much jewelry from Stephanie Haxel. I was addicted. I was not a jewelry girl before that. Stephanie kind of got to where she was like, I'm not letting you do one more cart until you join. I knew I needed something in my life. I was a mom and I work at a medical aesthetics place 1 day a week. And other than that, I was a mom. I was president of Assistance League. I've been president of PTOs. I'm kind of like Kim Craddock in that way, well known in the community as a big volunteer. But it wasn't enough. And I was a teacher before that. So my sister is a teacher still, and I taught with her at Norman North. But I hated it. In my last year of teaching, I gained 80 pounds and I was like, I'm done. I cannot teach anymore. And then I kind of, to tell you the truth, went through a little depression. Like, what am I going to do with myself? Felt like I was living off my husband, even though he's like anything he makes is both of ours. And I worked very hard as a mom. I was not just sitting on the couch eating bonbons, but I needed something for me. I knew I had an immense amount of energy and gifts to share with the world. I just didn't know where to put them. So I went and got my license to sell insurance. And I kept getting offered jobs and I kept being like, ugh. And it just felt like sitting at a desk from 8 to 5 and not being able to be the boss of my own day just sounded awful. I just could not get there. And I just kept passing up job after job and feeling worse about myself. Like, what am I going to do? Then I kind of thought up an insurance thing where I could work from home, but I still wasn't excited about it. So Stephanie kept talking to me about jewelry, and I kept saying, I'm doing insurance. I'm doing insurance. That'll make real money. Jewelry won't make real money. Um, I'm so glad I chose Park Lane. So I put all this energy I already had into this business. And guys, I make a regular like $1,900 check every month for every week almost. This week I probably won't, but I mean, it's been a game changer for our family, and a game changer for me. So I think it kind of started, and my husband would tell you, well, what are you going to tell them today? That pretty much ignore your family and then you can become a senior division leader. And it's not really like that. At least I'm happy and having an extreme amount of fun in my job. Okay. It is so fun for me. And so I think that's where it starts, is just having fun. But in all jokes aside, you know how it is when you have momentum, you don't want to kill it. Like, you've got to ride the momentum. So my husband says this. We were on a cruise last week. I had had a lot of fun with my boys on that cruise. At the end of the week, and by the way, this is the reason I tell you this, is I didn't know I was close to senior division. But let me tell you, okay, back up. Let me say, let's talk about what you have to have for senior division. I know that. So anyone who is not at senior division, let's talk about what you have to have. One, you have to have 8 leaders on your team, and that can be branch directors and above. Okay. And Stephanie could tell you, and I don't understand all of this, it was never my issue, but they can't come from one leg. I know that Stephanie knows that. Christy, you would have to, will you speak to that really quickly? Tell us what that means.
Yes, and I'll read to you like the what's out of the brochure. Okay, so it's just hold on, let me find it.
Brochure is like page 9 or 10, right? So you go to field interface, downloads, sharing the opportunity brochure, and then it's like page 9 or 10.
Promotion requirement. No one sub leader can account for more than 50% of the overall promotion requirement.
Does that mean
But-
like Monica is an area leader, my sister? Monica could not carry all the leaders under her.
And that just to explain to you guys, that's out of protection for you building a strong organization. You never want to have all your eggs in one basket. And so it's like giving ourselves permission. If you've got it, and I mean, I guess we discussed this, if there's a need at some point, or maybe not a need, but like the reason is let me just say, to save time, it's out of protection for you. So you've got lots of different, in case one decides to shut down, your old business doesn't go to. Okay, continue.
Okay. It wasn't my issue because my sister is an area leader on my team. My very best friend from high school, Julie Sparks, is an area leader on my team. And I have one rising area leader. Well, hang on. My cousin Tressa in Texas is an area leader on my team. She hasn't done a thing. She was a direct appoint that came in as area leader, and then she's just been sitting there, which is fine. But the reason I say that is because I had to make her active. So we can talk through some of that as well. So, when you're really close, so let me just tell you. Okay, the next thing. So the one thing is 8 leaders and they can't all come from the same leg. Okay. Next thing, and by the way, they can be anywhere, right? So it could be my sister's branch directors under her, or Julie's got a branch director who has a branch director under her, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's any branch director on that entire family. And I call them my family. They're called the Sparkle Sisters. We do often, well, we'll get to that in a second. Okay. So that's number one, is you've got to have 8 leaders. And I didn't, by the way. At the that was my issue. I almost had the numbers, I did not have the leaders. So by the end, yeah, I had maybe 5. So yeah, I had 5. So by the end, okay, the next thing you have to have is 2 months in a row. So mine were February and March, 2 months in a row, and this is the kicker: 60,000 net, not 60,000 net non. So by the end of this, it was like 92,000 net non or something, but it had to be 60,000 net. That's the buy 2 get 4, ladies. That's all there is. So at the end of the week, I was doing some orders to make people active, and I was not doing any $30. I was paying the Montana half price. So just so you know, net and on, okay, or net 60,000 net. Well, at the end, so Christy and I have been talking. I will tell you that once I started this, I decided to start it as a business. It is what I do. The only day I do not do this is Fridays, when I go work in that office from 10 to 5, and I really can't do any Park Lane when I'm there. So that's the day I don't do it. Other than that, I am doing this as a business, and I do put in the hours of a business. Second, and I decided I would just put my head down and do the business and do it like a job. That's what I decided from the beginning. And I will say I definitely have an intrinsic goal of being a 6-digit earner. I have needed that my entire life. I do not want to live on I love my husband and we're going to be just fine, but I need this for me, that I can prove that with my skills, I can do this by myself. And so, but since I've started it and I've learned from Tish and I've learned from Christy, I kind of feel like I'm not stopping till I'm a 6-digit earner, and I have 6-digit earners on my team. It is very, very important to me that we can all do this for a living, and we can prove that we can live from our happy place and work from our happy place and still raise this money. Okay. Like for our families, for our communities, just to be working women, professional women. So that's very important to me. I guess I want that because I don't want to be a teacher anymore. And so maybe a 6-digit earner makes me feel like I'm making more than I would have made as a teacher.
I'm going to chime in too, because I got to know Megan a little bit when I went to Norman. I know your story of your upbringing and your mom doing a lot on her own.
And my dad is an alcoholic. He's a mess, and he would be in and out. Like, he'd make a lot of money and then no money. And my dad, by the way, is a very charismatic, strong salesperson naturally. So for many, many years of my life, I have been shaming that salesperson down in me, thinking that that was a dangerous thing, that if I let that person out, I would be dangerous like my father. And I very quickly learned that I can let it out in a very loving way, in a very giving way. And it's just been it's been a life journey as much as it's been a business journey for me. I mean, I could cry talking about it, truly has.
So
So
I'll interject just to say, because I typed this in the chat, you know, it's a blessing and a curse, this feeling that those of us have. I think that's one of the things that binds a lot of us. I never personally, and I'm not trying to overtake this. I'm trying to
oh,
just almost, I don't know, layer on. I was never great at the moms groups. Okay. Like I joined several, but, and this is nothing again. I mean, if Kim were on here, because Kim was in the same ones I was in, it's the same community, she thrived in them. I could never find my place. And I think it was my mom came from Cuba. Y'all heard the story, I'm sure. And my dad was very successful. He was also an alcoholic. Okay. We lived in a very difficult home. Tish and I don't share this publicly. Tish and Allie and I don't share this publicly. Our mother from her background, we were raised, you never know what can happen. She wasn't divorced. Fidel Castro took their weapons and changed their currency. They had nothing, okay, and came to this country. That's her perspective. So she raised us like this. So that 11 months of my life that I didn't work when Anna was born, I felt like I didn't have roots in the ground. And I had a husband. My husband was a family law and criminal law attorney. He works for himself, so he doesn't make bukus of money. But I mean, you know, he did well, but did well. And so I didn't have to if I was willing to live in that place that was very uncomfortable for me. So I think it's interesting that you say this. I'm not saying everybody has to have a story, but it is interesting to dig into why are the 9 of you on this call? Why are the 9 of you? Why do you have this desire to do that? And it's okay for us to have that. And I think that's where I struggled with a lot of the moms groups, which now I'm phasing out of that life stage or criticism of myself. Why did that not fulfill me like it fulfilled a lot of other people? Okay, I digress. Go.
it also didn't fulfill me. And even all of the president assistants, like, it's like I was trying to fix something. So I would go, sure, I'll be president. I'd say yes. And then I'd be like, oh, this is just awful. I'm just getting through the year. And I think it was just, listen, it feeds you later. Like the amount of kids we clothe from Assistance League, or when I was teaching, the amount of kids I made a difference in their lives, it does feed you later. It really does. But there is no immediate payback. And I'm telling you, the carrots with Park Lane, they work for me. So then I train my team to work for the carrots, because you find you're working for a small carrot, you get it. Then you work for the next carrot, you get it. It feels good every time. We celebrate each other every single time, right? I mean, in teaching, nobody was celebrating me. It didn't matter if I was a terrible teacher or a great teacher. I got paid the same as the next person. And no one was coming to my classroom to say, you are awesome. Has anyone told you how awesome you are today? But with Park Lane, we get it every week. Then we get it every month. And I mean, and that's what I say about momentum. So I'm doing these small things and it's doable. And that's what I've taught my team. You do these, it's all the systems are in place. That's why I'm like, I don't have anything to teach really. Like Regina asking me, I'm like, Regina, you taught me what I know. Do you know that this woman is not in my team and she gifted me a coach purse once? I mean, I was in a 5 and 5, which by the way, I
You
need a new
earned it.
one.
You
What?
earned it, Megan. You earned it. I mean, I wish someone on my team earned it, but you earned it. And it was open to, Stephanie's team and Elizabeth's team and Ashley's team and everybody, but you earned it. It was
Yeah. But Regina is amazing. Okay. She's not making a paycheck off me or anything else. She put a goal out there and I go for the goals. I go for the carrots. They work for me. It was all about booking. It was book this many and it's on trust and whatever. And I'm booking. I'm booking. which by the way, I'm not right now. I've got to get back to booking. So that's what I see right now about leadership is it's harder. It's harder, but I'll get there. I've got I've got 2 parties coming up. I got to get 8. I mean, I want to have 8, but Stephanie said Megan's family relies on her. I
think
do
that's
want to
a
say
big,
that.
that's probably one of the biggest nuggets I want y'all to take away. And she just sped through it. Megan has been a top seller in our team, which all of y'all have. Okay. All 9 months of her being with Park Lane. And what does that do? I was just having a conversation with Jerry Arnold just a minute ago. When you're selling a lot, it's easier to book and it's easier to sponsor.
More
And so,
people.
yeah.
You just see more people. More people are running through. They're commenting on my VIP, so I'm getting the algorithms. It just keeps going. Okay, so Stephanie said her family relies on her. That was another reason I chose this as a job. I think my family would crumble if I went to an 8 to 5 job. I think they would crumble and die. I mean, they really, really need me. And they're getting better and better about not needing me, but they really do. So that was another thing. I'm like, well, how do I start a life for myself if I go to an 8 to 5 job? No, but my family can't handle that. And so it was just this. So this job worked perfectly for me. And I'm not able to read them all because I don't want to get us off. I'm going to read them in a second. But okay, I do have 3 things written down for how I got here. I think the biggest. First, I have Julie and Stacy, Julie and my sister, my very, very best friend from high school, who's loyal and consistent and hardworking. Okay. And my sister, who is the same, a loyal, consistent, hardworking person. Neither of them are huge, charismatic, funny personalities like Stephanie Haxel and I, but they are loyal, consistent, and hardworking. Okay, so they're working on 2 sides, right? So I've got this area leader over here and this area leader over here. Julie doesn't communicate with me a lot. And I will tell you this as a leader, it's harder for me to then communicate down her line. We're the kind of best friends that are best friends that have it, but we don't have to talk a lot. So then down her line, I have trouble knowing where I am overstepping. And I've learned a lot from Christy about just go talk to them. So I do. I just go talk to them. Okay. I text them. Sometimes I copy Julie, sometimes I don't, but I do. I talk to them. Okay. Then my sister's team, somewhat of the same. I think when they get to area leader, they're kind of working well with that area leader. But she's got her own team down there and they're talking to her. She's got a few people that talk to me often. But anyway, so those teams I just know are going. Okay. But
Again, can I stop you? I'm sorry.
yeah.
But because I'm thinking about who all's on here that maybe have some area leaders that don't have this. Do you feel that, and I don't know the answer to this, did you remain connected with those people that were coming in and productive prior to your sister promoting to area or Julie promoting to area? Like, have you been in contact with those people?
Probably because I'm kind of so I am an extrovert. I get energy off people. So I mean, the second somebody signs up and I see that you have a new person on your team, they're getting a handwritten note from me. And I put them into my phone immediately and text them, I'm so glad you're on our team. You're a Sparkle sister and you're in the best place for you. I'm here, like if you want to be a VIP shopper and that's your game, I'm here for you. If you want to build a business, you're in the right place. I'm here for you. And that's really what I text immediately, right when I see we got a new member on our team. And then I immediately add them to the chat and tell, I have a messenger chat. I tell them if you don't want to be in that chat, just let me know, So anyway, I just want them to feel welcome in all the ways. Some of them talk back, some of them don't, right? I mean, but that's part of my system is just, oh, good, we have a new person on our team. Another part of my system is to push it straight out. So Regina, you thought I was getting all these members. I push it out anytime we get a new member on our team. Because to me, anytime there's a new member in the Sparkle Sister team, it needs to be celebrated. So I push it to my Instagram immediately on the stories. because people need to know we're growing, we're moving, more people are signing up. Why don't you want to sign up? I don't care where you sign up. But yes, Regina, I do have 7 that have signed up so far. I have 1 signing up today, but not under me. So anyway, what I want to say about that next leg of my team is I got brave. So that's number 1 is get brave. There is, even if you're working this business consistently, that I'm scared list is really important. I still have one. I'm still really scared of a lot of people, but there is a doctor in town that I respect highly. I find her very classy, but she is very, very busy. Okay, because when she's off, she does, like, she used to be in Broadway, so she sings beautifully, like she's ultra gifted. Okay, and I've watched her sing at chamber things and all that kind of stuff. Well, she's been on my scared list for a long time. Well, I finally got brave and did the whole, I didn't want to ask you because I thought you'd think I was the crazy jewelry lady, but it turns out I am the crazy jewelry lady. Well, we hit it off immediately. We have been friends ever since. She joined my team during my senior division deal. So, I mean, a doctor. And she's like, and I may do some. And she wanted to do the party, her launch with me. So we dressed in Caribbean because of the Caribbean stuff. And she brought all the stuff over, grass skirts and hats. And I mean, we dressed up my office. We had a blast. And now she has someone wanting to join her team. This busy doctor. She's
But
finding the time.
I remember talking to Megan the day she was going to ask this lady, or she had sent her a message and hadn't heard back. Wasn't that it, Megan? And
Yes,
she
and I was so nervous because I thought I got brave, but it's been a day.
Yeah,
And I'm
I
waiting,
don't
and
know
I'm
what
gonna
to
have to do my sandwich, right? I'm gonna have to do my second day that said, "Hey, did you get my message above?" And I was seriously about to do that, and she texted me back.
And so, but it started with a wonderful party. She had a wonderful party as a hostess.
Yeah, she had a wonderful party.
But then, Megan, what came from that? This is way before her joining. Like, there's so much in between you're missing.
Came from the party. Well, so
Yeah.
then, I mean, since that party, I have a Lob Mob on my team because her last name is Lob, Lobb, and they've all joined, and they're all over the United States, and they're all like, she's got Paula Lobb in Texas selling with a huge, like, she is a go-getter like me with a huge goal of being area leader by the end of the month. She's got and Paula has then gotten Kara on the team, and she's a Lob. Kara has then gotten 2 other Lobs on her team, and she's about to sign up her co-director at work. I mean, so that team is exploding, and there's so much energy coming from just that, what I wanted to say, that one decision to get brave and ask a doctor for a party. I think I thought a doctor is too busy, she can't have a party. But the thing is, they're lonely and they need girl time too. And this has ended up being Kelly's, I call her Kelly, Dr. Lobbs, whatever, her getaway. It's her fun getaway to do. And she loves sparkly things and gets excited every time she gets a new box of Perk Lanes. So, and I keep thinking she's got everything, but then like when she came over, they were like, she's got a long list again. So, anyway, I just wanted to say first, that was a good decision. So that created a whole lot of energy in my team, right? So that energy, along with my sister and Julie's consistency, just is what started exploding this team. So in February, my net was at 28,243 or something like that. Okay. And then we had March coming, and I thought, oh my gosh, we're going to have to make 32,000 net in March, right, to get to 60,000. And I only have 5 leaders at this point. 5. Okay. So I had decided, because my husband was like, I don't like it when you push, it should happen more organically. You know, like, you know, if it happened, you know, just do your
Jessica's like, if her face could only speak, she's like,
just do your systems and do your activity and then turn it off and then come back to me, that kind of thing. You don't, if you have to push, maybe you're not ready, like, but I had kind of decided at the beginning of March because I knew it was kind of, well, we only have 5 liters and we're at 28,000, we would have to be at 32,000 with 3 more liters at the end of March, right? And I thought it's spring break time around here, and we're all moms. We're all busy moms. I'm going on an 8-day vacation in March. There's no way I can get my sales up that high. There was another thing. I think I did another vacation in March because I did my Shamrock sale on that vacation. No, it may have been the 8-day. Anyway, it was like too much going on. I may not be able to do it. Well, I was on a cruise with my family, and the decision for senior director happened on the cruise. I woke up on Thursday morning after Wednesday numbers come through, right? And we did get internet on the cruise. It was terrible internet, but I did have it. And I looked at the back office and I was like, oh shoot, we're close. We're so close. We were $9,200 net away from 60,000 net and still 3 liters away. Okay. So I'm like, I looked at my husband and said, guess what? You've had me all week. I think for 3 days when I get home, you're not going to see me much because I think I'm going to go for this. And then I told Christy, I'm going to go for this. And we had 3 days, seriously, 3 days, Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I guess 3.5, 4. Okay. So, and I'm like, we're going to get 9,000 net and 3 liters. Okay. Yes, this was the last week of March. Okay. So it was, well, I don't have the calendar in front of me, but I mean, anyway, so, and both my husband and my son were there and they both went, I said, just give me 3 more days. Just give me 3 days. And they both said, until the next promotion, because it's been like that. I really do believe like that woman that we watched about the vacations, this is hunting season. I say it to my family now. Guess what? It's St. Thomas time. I'm in hunting season. Okay. Till I get that, I'm in hunting season. Just see it that way. I'm going to work a little more than you're used to, but I still think I'm so here for them. Stephanie Hexel would tell you I'm still so here for them. They just think they're dying. Like last night, I was really looking forward to sitting on the couch with my husband, but I was really looking forward to having time to catch up on the text I hadn't, like the quick answers, but you hadn't like gone to really read them and respond. So I was like, I need to get to the couch so I can really respond to those texts. But I was thinking I'm halfway there with my husband, but so I of course heard from that too. Well, you weren't with me, but whatever.
You
We got it
know,
done.
this is adjustment. This is adjustment. They've had you, for so
They
long.
just completely had me.
Yeah. And so I love that you're sharing this with your little sassy attitude about it, because I'm going to tell you what's going on in the back of my mind now that, and you've got kids that are getting older too.
A 19 and a 16, by the way. They're 19 and 16. One has moved out of the house. And she even gets mad at me sometimes, but I'm like, listen, you left me and I would have nothing to do without you here, so.
Regina can relate, but here's the thing. It's that, and this is going to sound morbid, y'all, because my dad was like this. He would throw out these things but he would, when you are dead and at your funeral, guess what's going to be said about you? And there's ways better positive things, ways to think about this, but guess what's said about you behind your back when they are bragging about their mom? Because I've now heard this from my girls on occasion, not very often. But they're like, wow, my mom does so much. Wow. And I mean, that's the example. So as much as they want to wah, they're proud.
Yeah, they are. But
All of us, y'all.
they're still,
all of us.
I can handle this for my husband because he calls me Madam Senior Division now. I mean, he's very nice, very proud of me. So and that's why I can handle some of the complaints. but it is part of what we're doing. So you have to say this. I mean, you do. But anyway, so where was I? I got brave with Kelly. That was number one. Okay. I got brave with Kelly Love, and then that caused an explosion of energy on my team. So where I was in the story, and I don't want to get too caught up in the story, but I had to make a goal. I'm going to do this. And then how do I communicate with people? That's the hardest thing, right? How do I communicate with my team without making them feel pressure, right? I don't want them to feel pressure on account of me, but at the same time, they need to know where I am and where we could be. So we made it, Christy and I Stephanie made it very celebratory and rally like. Okay, that's kind of how we made it. And on Sunday, I went before the team and said, ladies, we are $9,200 away from being a senior division team. You know, it is better for all of us if we're a senior division team because, you know, I don't know. I just said it may open opportunities for us. It may make us more aware of things going on with the company. It is so good for all of you. Okay. Because a lot of you are not, you want to be branch directors, but you're not because you're nervous. And maybe this will help you not be nervous and step over and get it done, which by the way, it did. So then we had a rally and it was just a celebratory thing. And we said, you know, you don't have to tell us what's in your back office, but we do kind of need to know so that Megan knows what kind of sales she needs to do by the end of the week. I mean, she's got 3 days to do it. And by the way, ladies, I did not have to order one needless piece of jewelry. Not one needless piece, which is amazing. Like at the end, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have $1,700 worth of jewelry coming out of my ears. Oh my gosh, you know, and no, not one needless piece of jewelry ordered. So that's amazing. But anyway, yeah, so I could plan, Stephanie said. So yeah, you do kind of need to know. And then a lot of them, I'm so close to them and I work in their back office enough that I have like 20 of their sign-ins to the back office. Let me tell you how we do that. If we're talking about systems, I try to tell them to make their password Park Lane 1 exclamation point. If they do that, then I know their emails and I can get into all their back office and help them really quickly. And they've learned that that really is the best thing. And I just tell them until they're comfortable and they don't need me anymore, just make it Park Lane 1 exclamation point so I can get in there and help you. So I have like 20 of their passwords to get in their back office. So then I was able to go to all these back offices and know what was in there, right? So just FYI. So then I'm like, we do all the math and it's looking like there's like 4,000 to go. If we just used back office and we used all the qualifications that we thought were going to come, all that kind of stuff, then it was looking like 4,000 left. And then all those people that really don't want to communicate, they really don't want to be friends with you. I don't know if you know what I mean, but you know, all those people that are just hard to reach, then they came out of the woodwork. Like one girl came out and said, I'll have 1,400. I'm like, oh, well, I would expect. So, you know, there are people that when they hear the team is going, then they appear, right? So, okay, so that's number 2. The number 1 was got brave. Okay. And number 2 was women, especially, will help you before they help themselves. It's crazy to me. Crazy to me. But when they hear there's a need for another woman, they will dig down deep emotionally and do something. But they won't always dig down deep and do it emotionally for themselves. And it wasn't until I put the goal before them, like a really clear goal, that they got brave enough and they did it themselves. I didn't do it for them. They got brave enough to do this. So, by the way, the last week of March, did we get 5 or 6 branch directors on my team? So, our goal was 3, but we ended up with like 5 or 6. Okay, by the end of March, because these women had been working and wanting to be a branch director, but scared to ask anyone and maybe didn't see a need to ask anyone. And so it wasn't until I said, we need this as a team, that they got brave enough. Either they could use me as the reason, I don't know, but they got brave enough to do it. So the way I see that is, you were helping me, I guess. Selfishly, I could think, oh gosh, I asked people to help me and I feel bad and whatever. But not selfishly, I can see in helping me, they bettered themselves. They're doing the same amount of work and they got a lifetime pay raise, same amount of work, and they got a job title that will never leave them. Okay. So that's amazing. And we got this camaraderie and family thing going on that would not have been there otherwise. I had one lady drop the group after this whole business was done. One lady dropped the group, and I was like, you know what? When she dropped the group, it was like, that was kind of where she was going anyway. And that's probably best. But everyone else is like, I'm in the best group. I'm in the best place I want to be. We're so excited. And so that's number 2. Women will help another woman before they'll help themselves. It is crazy to me. Crazy to me. But they really did do it for me. And then they're like, I'm so glad I did it for you because now I'm a branch director finally, or whatever. Okay. And then, well, the last thing I would say is just what Park Lane in general has done for me. I have had, and I could cry talking about this, but I had one of my downline this week tell me some stories about her mom and how her mom is 81 and then her sister is like maybe 79. So we're talking older women who had been just watching TV and doing nothing. And once they started watching me on my VIP and really get like, to them, I'm like a star, which just cracks me up. Like, and by the way, Dr. Lob, her husband got on the phone with me the other day and said, I'm a big fan. And then her children around St. Patrick's Day, I had this big giveaway and I had this really weird bird. I find the most random things to give away in my group. Okay. And I had this really weird bird. Well, Dr. Lob has a twin set of girls that are like 7 or 8. They wanted that bird so bad. Well, I don't think they did win it. No, they didn't win it. Someone else won it and didn't want the bird. And so then I had to go buy another bird so both twins could have a bird. And she videoed them getting their bird, and it was like insane. I got that bird like at Walmart for $11, but it was this huge, annoying bird. But I do weird things like that on my VIP all the time just to add energy. But anyway, her girls think I'm a star too. They thought they got a bird from a big star. That's hilarious. It's just hilarious. Anyway, long story short, what I've done for this 79-year-old and 81-year-old woman, and this is what we all do for women every single day. And I do want to end what I'm saying with this. I could cry talking about it, but they've been just doing nothing. And both of them, one of them traveled from Kentucky to see the other one in California. And they went and got second hole piercings because they had watched me and Stephanie get our second hole piercing together. And they've been buying all the jewelry and giggling like silly schoolgirls when they hadn't been doing that kind of stuff. And that is what we offer to people every single day. And that's what it's all about. It's about making a better life for others. And I just am blown away, right? That this decision I made last July to sell jewelry rather than sell insurance or anything else, blown away that this little decision has made a difference in so many people's lives, including my own. And so that gives it purpose. And that's what drives me. So
Megan, so good. So good. Okay, I'd
I'm sure
love
you guys have stories too. I would love to hear.
Well, we all have stories. That is the truth. And that's what's so fun about taking time to actually dig in. Okay. Yes. Questions, Regina.
Yeah, she's gonna have systems questions.
I have notes and I have 4 questions that I wrote on sticky notes. So my first question is, what professional organizations are you involved in that are specific to promoting your Park Lane business? Not things that you were in the past, but maybe that you were in the past, but now you've swapped it to promote Park Lane, but or also that you've joined to promote Park Lane.
Would tell you not one thing. My husband, this is what helps me. My husband is a president of a bank in the town. Everyone knows him. He's very, very involved with the community. And so we're well known. And so I was already going to all the Norman Chamber of Commerce events, but now when I go and I wear I wore that Fable necklace to the last big auction, and so many women just necklace, and then some of them are my sister's people. So that helped her sales, but um so I was already in the chamber. So that helps immensely. I will say every event I go to, I probably do sell a piece of jewelry, or I get someone that will come to my house and shop the jewelry here at my house. Assistance League is my other one. I've been very involved. And so it's kind of like junior league or whatever for old ladies. Um, we clothe about 2,500 kids a year in this area. And it costs about 150 a kid to clothe them. And so we manage a $300,000 budget plus. Well, that's what I was doing as president. So, and then lots of people coming in and out of the building. We have our own building. So I will say every time I go to an assistance league meeting, I also find a new client and sell another cart of jewelry.
Hey, I want to piggyback on this, Megan, because there's something that you do, because you tell me every time I went to Assistance League, she makes the cart right there for them. Like, she doesn't wait for them to get back to her or say, hey, contact me about this. She does it right then and there.
Okay.
I don't mess around because I know when people are in the mood to spend money, they're ready to go.
Yeah.
That is something that's different about me than other people. I'm like, we're not messing around. If you want, because she was like, I want those pieces you're wearing. I want those pieces your mom's wearing. And I was like, well, that's the best cart. And I just built it, sent it to her and said, check it out. And she did. And now she's a member of my VIP, so.
And that's good for me to know when we move to a small town.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay. Next question. Did you tell your VIPs about your goal, like your customers?
Oh, yes. And they rallied big time. So they knew that when they were ordering, they may be ordering on my cousin Tressa. That's another reason we were talking about that, the one that's not active. I mean, we just went directly to her website and ordered to make her active. And I had 2 people do a cart. When they called me, I said, are you okay to do a cart on her? I'm okay to do a cart anywhere you want me to, because I'm helping you. If whatever you say helps you is what I want to do. So, we did that a few times. I had to make 2 other deals per se, and I had $300 worth of RRC left in my back office. So I had one girl that wanted to go, she wanted to become active in April. She already had over 1,000 in her back office and was ready to qualify, right? So she was just a regular fashion stylist ready to qualify, but she was like, I wanted to qualify in April because I wanted to get RRC1. So I was like, well, how about I give you my RRC, which is $50 more. And so you can have $300 in jewelry and just qualify now to get, Linda to be a branch director, because that was already going to happen anyway. All the work had already happened. The launch had already happened, so anyway, she was like, okay, deal. So did that deal. And then I had one other person that was a branch director, one of my good friends, who we had to get in a big fight. And I learned I'm a sweet, sweet, syrupy girl. But if I'm protecting my children or I'm protecting my team, I will get tough. You don't want to mess with me. So she had $475 net in her back office that she was waiting to get 10 orders so she could get $400 right in jewelry. But I was like, well, then work to get your 10 orders, you have 2 days. And then on Wednesday morning, I'm gonna, I'm gonna come in and turn that party in. She was so mad, but I was like, listen, I mean, you said you wouldn't bug me. You said there weren't minimums. And I had to have a long talk with her about when you decided to be a branch director, you became part of the team, like a real working part of this team. And two, I'm not letting $60,000 net and 27 women who are working their butts off be stopped because you have $400 sitting in your back office that you won't turn in. I mean, like, you don't even have to spend a penny, right? You just have to be active. So we had to have talk. And it was fine. It was fine. And by the end, we were laughing. And she's coming over today because something she got doesn't fit right. So she wants to trade it. But anyway, it was fine. And she said, we found out we could be tough together. And I was like, yeah, I guess we did. I mean, not everybody gets it where we get it, right? We have to know that back office like crazy, and the way the systems work like crazy. She doesn't get it all the way. I mean, she shouldn't have to. She's a realtor, she's busy. She shouldn't have to. But anyway, what I learned is I will get tough when I may not get tough for myself. I will get tough for a team. So you kind of have to get in that mindset too. Like, this really isn't for me. I mean, I didn't know yet that we were going to get 5 branch directors, right? And I knew she was one of my 8. So I was like, you've got it sitting in there anyway, So what else, Regina?
Next question is, how do you motivate your team? I know you said you use the carrots that Park Lane gives us, but how do you typically pitch that?
This is really funny that you asked that. Stephanie motivated us with Hulken bags a few months ago, and that was super fun. But it cost her a lot of money. And I was like, and I was watching my team, like, do I want to put an incentive out there? I used the incentives that are already there for us, all the RRCs, all those things. And they were intrinsically motivated already to get what they were getting. They just needed the push to know there was a goal at hand to make the move. And when I noticed their movement, I decided I was not going to do any financial motivation or motivator. Does that make sense? I was not going to spend money myself other than taking care of that $300 I gave out of my RRC to her. And the other money thing, well, I did a huge, so you asked about my VIP and did they know? I did a huge social sale. I did that spring edit sale. And then I threw a lot of the new stuff into it because they wanted the new stuff. And so, and then I told them they have the choice. Both will help me. You can either do carts based on how much you want, or you can order off the spring edit. And so I had all those orders coming in, and I had enough orders coming in that I was able to order on people and then give them free jewelry. I mean,
Okay,
So I'm gonna actually clarify your question, because I think could you specify, Megan, how you use the carrots, how you talk about the carrots to the team to then get them focused on? I think that's kind of what you're looking for, Regina.
yes.
we
Thank you,
did
Kristen.
push all those things that were available. So I just said, not only will you be helping me, but you've got Tish's thing where you're working toward Gucci slides. And I put all those things in there, all those incentives that were already there. And then I also texted them, look what happened. Not only did you make a 5% raise, but you're also entered to win this bag or whatever. I just, in my communication, was doing that. So
Do you do it individually, Megan, to each
Um,
person? Or are you doing it just in your team chat?
so much communication. I mean, that's the deal. It's just so I could communicate every day, all day.
I think
Is
this
it
is something
individual?
else. Go ahead.
Is it individual or is it in the team chat?
Just both. And like, here I am, like, I'll do it in my 90s. Ladies, you're getting me in my 90s again, but I just wanted to talk to you about, this, that, or the other, and so I do that. And like I said, only one person, I put Paula there for the necklace night and I tell them the words to say. And sometimes I'll say, Paula, I know you told me you have 2 people you're going to invite. Make sure you get them invited today. And, if I know, I go ahead and tag them and say, don't forget, Um,
Megan's
like I
very
said, I only had
comfortable.
one person. And when they join, I'm like, here's Dr. Lobb and her sister with or her brother Winston. Welcome her to the team. And everybody's like, welcome, Dr. Lobb. So yeah, I mean, I
Okay, my last
communicate both on the team, just like you do in 5 and 5, same way on my team. I treat the team like a 5 and 5, almost.
Okay. So, and that was my last question then, like, how do you really communicate with your team to make them feel that no pressure, but it's important? And then like, what media do you use? Do you use a team Zoom? Do you use a team messenger thread? Do you use a team Facebook group? There's one more Facebook groups.
Well, Stephanie and I have discussed that in length. Here's where my issue is right now, and I haven't figured it out. I still have so much to learn from all of you. But I need a place to video where I can share my screen. It's getting really, really hard. So there's like 6 or 7 women right now in that team that want to learn and want to grow and are new enough that they need the screen share just to show what boards looks like and all that kind of stuff. So um you're so funny that you said my prizes are crazy. They're so funny. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure that out. So Steffi and I had a deep conversation about this the other day because I was like, but she was like, it gets to where they're following Treasure Tribe and they're following Dream Catchers and it gets to be too much. And the videos are there. So again, just like we're always telling each other, use the team, use what's already there. So Connie Allred's new member thing went in here, and Tiffany Aguilera's new member thing went in there. You can share that video into there. And then I said, and then I'm going at 8:30 Friday morning. Whoever can be there, great. And 5 people ended up coming, but I ended up trying to use Christie's so I could save it, and then I couldn't figure out how to save it. But that's the thing is, how do you save yourself doing this work you're doing to then share with the group? It's just, that's all stuff I've got to learn. I haven't figured it out.
So Megan, and I mean, maybe you'll all benefit from this. Dig in a little more. Like, what are you trying to share? Because there are a lot of options out there. Maybe I could suggest something. What are you talking about?
So what I wanted to do is just like, you're a brand new stylist who signed up. So, I mean, I have my notes here.
Do a training? You talking about training them?
Like, number 1, here's Park Lane. Number 2, here's Tish Mefford and the Treasure Tribe. Number 3, here's Christy Goodman and the Dream Catchers. And they all have their own meetings. So, these are more broad Monday at noon. These are more, pointed Thursday at 11 right after the loop. So it's just that. Then join all these pages, right? So TT Photo Bank will blow your mind, right?
So you're talking
Dreamcatcher.
about wanting to do a Zoom with them to train this. This is why you asked for my Zoom link.
Yes.
So what you can do, if you were wanting to do something like that, I mean, you can have your own Zoom account. You know that, right?
I have my own.
Okay.
But it ends at what, 40 minutes, Stephanie?
Yes. Yeah.
Which is fine. I decided and I told them this is going to be a 40-minute-er.
Yep. Exactly. You can also upload those Zooms to YouTube. And then you've got that YouTube link that you could share in your group. If that's
how to do that.
I'll teach you. I'm telling y'all there's typically a solution to what you're trying to do. I'm
another thing. I do not like that Zoom sharing screen is so small and you can't really see it very well. So they're like, well, I see it, but I don't see it very well. Well, my husband was telling me that there's a way to make it like 150% what I'm seeing. So then it makes it bigger for what they're seeing.
I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
that,
Those
but
are
I'm
all the
sure that's
things I have to
possible.
learn.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's all one day at a time. But these are good growing pains. But Regina, she uses a Facebook message group. Yeah, not a
It
Facebook.
started a group me and it was tanking. And Haxel and I discussed it. And she was like, everyone's already using Facebook Messenger. So go use Facebook Messenger.
You know, some people like Allie, my sister, her leader chat is in Telegram. You can do Telegram where you can actually respond. So you know
Is
that
it a Telegram or they chat back and forth?
you can set it up to where you can chat back and forth in Telegram.
Do other people see it or only Allie?
Other people see it. You can use it like Tish does just for, you know, communication purposes, which is awesome because then things don't get jumbled, but that's good for that purpose. But Allie's leader chat is actually in Telegram just because they got tired of so much in Messenger. I haven't done that because to me, it's like, oh gosh, one more app that I don't know if people would actually check as often. I don't know. I'm open to suggestions if you guys want to.
Another thing on Messenger that I did not mention is they wanted the countdown. So every time a noon order came in, I would say, now we're $3,000 away from the goal. Now we're $2,000 away from the goal. So they were enjoying that.
It was amazing.
Mhm.
And what was
And
really amazing is
just, became a branch director. Let's celebrate her. And everybody would celebrate,
and it all started coming down to those last few hours, not literally hours, but like the day.
Well, and even at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, and I will teach you guys this. My sister and I ended up on a shared call with Christy, freaking out about something because my sister teaches full time and they're busy. And they already knew on Tuesday they were going to flip this party, right? But now it's Wednesday at 5 and they haven't done it yet. And we're all thinking we have until midnight. And my sister's trying to flip it, and it, when you hit that, it says it won't let you do it. It wouldn't let it change the intro show to the other person. And we know this is one of our branch directors. She's already turned in the application. It just, those things happen at the end of the day. And so I would tell you, as much as you can, try to make those things happen with your team on Tuesday. So if there are any issues, Park Lane will not make any changes after noon on Wednesday. Afternoon. So noon Central Time is your last minute if there's going to be any kind of issues. So I did learn that. But it ended up all working out. Here's what I would tell you we did if you want to know. You got to just change the entire party. Okay, so the entire party we made. So, okay, Heather Harrison has a party in her name. So she had just done the copy director info and made it Heather Harrison's party. Okay, she's changing it to Sherry Jones, who has signed up and is her sister-in-law, and she's going to become a branch director, right? So Sherry Jones was not in there yet. What we found we had to do is sign Heather completely out and put Sherry Jones everywhere and then hit that save shipping info at the bottom, get out completely, go back in, and then go to the party. And then you could flip it to make it Sherry Jones intro show. Just FYI. Had we not done it that way, then the customer service would have had to do that Thursday morning and it would have flipped another branch director to the next month.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. I have to jump off here to do our drawing for our promotions that I promised to do 11:45.
Oh, I can't wait. Are you doing it on your page?
On Dreamcatchers? Yes. We're gonna do a drawing for all the promotions. Megan, thank you so much. So much and such good learning.
Really don't know a thing more than all of these faces here. I really don't. I just got brave and made a goal and then learned how to communicate with a group of people to make the goal happen. So,
well, thank you guys. I will say the month she joined, she drove from Norman to Dallas. Maybe the week she joined. So she's been all in from the very beginning.
Yeah.
She came to meet, whoever was here. So
I make that decision. This is my job.
Yeah, you did. That's true. All right, guys. Thank y'all for popping on. Have a great rest of the day. Bye. Oh, the tribe call is at noon today, just so y'all know. Okay, bye.